Hello and welcome to chapter 226 of our streaming adventure. What we have for you today is the wheel, and it has spun up Monastery Mentor. Now, the nice thing about the wheel giving me a suggestion is it's not necessarily a hard and fast, you must play this. I usually get a little bit of creative leeway. And in this case, it's Monastery Mentor, and the first thing my mind goes to is Vintage, but you only get to play one Mentor there. Now, with the card draw and stuff, it sure feels like Mentor comes up more than a restricted card should, but I thought let's play in a format where it's reasonable to have multiple mentors and have that make an impact on the game. Okay, I say that, and we're going to die to like turn one combo repeatedly. Jinx. So, bravo. But what I ended up, I was looking at a couple different mentor lists. There's like blue-white control using mentor, and just the natural cantrip base and counter spells of legacy will generate that kind of army. Where I was saying, thinking back to Vintage, you play a Monastery Mentor, and then a Mox, and then a Mox, and then a Mox, and a Lotus, and then you Time Walk. You're basically there. So here, I have a lot less Moxes, grand total being 0, but I remember Callum Smith, Whiteface's MTG, member of the Everyday Eternal podcast, playing. This is not necessarily his list because I think that was in the pre-Prismatic Ending days, but having a lot of this shell where of one mind gets a reduction in cost once you have a human and a non-human. So Baleful Strix being a early blocker that will buy back the card that you've invested in it, and then having a mentor as a human, or what's nice is a mentor as a human creates just a monk. Not a human monk, just a monk. So a mentor and one of its own tokens is enough to satisfy the reduction on of one mind. Single blue, draw 2 cards, and make another monk. I'm in the business for that. So for the most part, we're going to kind of be playing fair, and we will see if we have enough tools to fight the combo decks that we've at least seen a lot more recently online. But this is what we are going to battle with. Let's give it a shot. Yep, Mentor is on the docket. Hopefully we'll actually get to cast a Mentor before dying to turn 1 Gristlegrands. Multiple matches in a row. I mean, it happened to us 2 times, 3 times? Only 2 times. But over the last few events, we have definitely played an uptick in Reanimator, which is why the Containment Priest is here. So, maybe get lucky? I can't imagine we're going to have a chance to have 2 mana against Reanimator. Maybe. Alright. We have won the die roll. Now that is a change. We have been on the draw for the last 9 matches. So things are already looking up. And from what I can see here, I have a blue source, Ponder, working my way towards a Baleful Strix. I feel like this is a keep. And hoping that Ponder gets us toward something worthwhile. Like, do I want a Baleful Strix and another Inquisition and a Prismatic Vista? So here's my thought. Inquisition, Vista, Inquisition bottom, Vista, Baleful Strix. Drawing the Baleful Strix so I have an extra blue card to pitch if necessary. Alright, Pester. I am hoping that we can fight Reanimator, but we shall see. Dragon's Rage Channeler, okay. So, my thought is this goes and gets basic Swamp for Baleful Strix, and then that also means I'm going to have mana for Unearth. Or do I care more about white for swords? I think having 2 cards... Alright. Vista can set me up for basic planes. I mean, that seemed pretty straightforward to me. So the question here is, I currently do not have a blue card follow-up. Do I deploy Sphinx? Do I just unearth? I kind of like unearth first, so that I keep my blue card here, and maybe I draw into a Ponder or Brainstorm before I play anything else out. Wait, can I go their cards? No, that's absurd. Okay. I now have the blue card. Just kind of digging for a way to... Bloodstained Mire is not one I would expect. Grixis Channeler? Okay. Well, I like that. I do wish I would have potentially had more... So this is going to have to attack me. They did not shuffle off the other Ponder, though. I could wait till I have the Swords of Plowshares as well to protect it. That might be worthwhile since there's no need to here. I also could have Snap Pondered potentially here. Now, is it worth... I think this is fine. I think that way I have the value... Snuff out. I theoretically think I could have deployed Mentor. If it died, then come back with Snapcaster on Unearth. But Volcanic has been played. You have to attack. I'll block with this one. Okay. Still holding 6 cards. Hmm. All right. Well, currently, I'm liking how things are looking. Potentially, if they go for Bolt, okay. So they're going to snuff out Mentor. I have some responses. Blue, blue. Hey, thank you. Stream snipe. Stream snipe. I mean, it is the card advantage spell for them, the expressive iteration, but so here's the question. Let's hold off because Snapcaster can rebuy the Unearth, and that might just be more impressive. Like, I lose Snapcaster over it. Oh no, not your Baleful Strix. Hear me out. If I Snapcaster back the Mentor, this Inquisition will get an extra trigger. However, do I want the trigger or do I want the card? My thought here is we unearth the Mentor following up with an Inquisition. See, the thing though is, okay, now if they have a removal spell, it gets to hit the Mentor that I have put in play. And yeah, I mean, maybe overall that was just worse. So they're holding double Brainstorm, which is pretty impressive, with a Baleful Strix they drew off the top. Okay, cleaning the top off. They likely put the Underground Sea back in. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they did. All right, the lack of dash there. some great draws. Tell you what. One, two, three, four. Opponent said our deck is sweet. And I said, come watch after the match. I'm saying red is, they said, just coming back after a long break. Was thinking Bant could be good. Red is pretty powerful. Who wants to attack? Anybody? No. We're on defense here. The fact that we've drawn this many lands without a brainstorm is a little frustrating. I think we save our force of will for a payoff somewhere. Another Strix. Strixes are fine. So now, thoughts being, if they have... So I'm willing to let that be my trade. I was like, oh man, I really hope I targeted their guy. I have opened myself up to dash Ragavan, but the fact that our opponent didn't play it out that way before, I mean, that doesn't mean that they won't learn. And now they're on defense. How many lands are in the deck? 20. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. Okay. They're willing to make the trade. I'm partially the reason I'm staying home is defense, but sure. I don't think Bolt is worth it. I'll do that though. Force back. Okay. Now the biggest thing is this is going to hit only good spells now. With all of these lands in my hand, all they could do is hit the good ones. Yep. Ugh. Dragon's Rage, sure. Pass turn. I was gonna say, interesting that they didn't dash again. Try again. Okay, that one worked. Do you have another one? No. Uh-oh, illegal attack. Illegal attack. Hello, Van Wedge. Paying costs. What do they got? Do they have the big dragon? Big dragon would be bad news. Bad news acquired. Yep, we're dead. Ugh. Alright. Down a game to Grixis. So Ragavan is like a ninja pirate or something. It's probably not a ninja. Fatal Push. I could see Flusterstorm. So, okay, threats we saw. Baleful Strix, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Ragavan, and Murktide. Those are the things that we saw from them. So technically Fracture eats all of that. But with the amount of duels they played, I don't expect to see Blood Moon or anything like that. With the Brainstorms and Ponders from them, Hull Breacher actually might be worthwhile of sneaking it in. Now, they are going to have the potential for Red Blast to come in, so maybe that is an argument for Flusterstorms, not only with winning necessarily a counter war, but for their removal, if we could blunt that, would be powerful. Also, being able to, protect Mentor with a single Flusterstorm seems pretty positive. Like I was saying, most of their threats being creatures, I want Force Negation out. Plague Engineer is interesting. Like, we didn't see... They're almost like Delverless Delver. If Plague Engineer... But it's not going to stop anything in the air, so that is likely not worthwhile. Something like getting Teferi to stick would be powerful. I wonder if I should be cutting, say, Force of Will. Force of Will, the inherent card disadvantage. Like, if we can get to a point where playing Jace, that seems powerful. Maybe these Inquisitions. I'm going to keep one Inquisition, which theoretically, if I would have led on, would have probably made the difference. Yeah, I'm going to go like this. Had I led on the Inquisition to take the bolt out of their hand, I think it would have made things wildly different. Multiple swords here. I don't know that they're a Daze deck, but they could be a Ragavan deck. So I'm going to start with Flooded Strand. I'm going to pass. Because depending on what they lead with, and through all that, we did not see a Daze. So that is interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. So my thoughts here. I have my removal spell. Unearth is not currently doing me anything. It Normal operating procedure are throw back a couple lands, everything will be okay. Which could be true. If I throw back both of these islands and then fetch underground out end step, I go into next turn with 2 sources, a fetch land, and lots of options. Theoretically, this could be scrubland, but it doesn't need to be. All right, so there's a mentor. I feel like we can build towards that. So is mentor the only card from this I care about? I kind of think yes. And theoretically, I could clear that off before pondering again. Or I'm looking for Inquisition here, funny enough, after I cut one. Because now I don't actually have the land to follow up with. Fatal Push and a Flusterstorm. I like those. So let's go land, Fluster, shoot, 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 shoot. Because we'll draw the Fluster, but I won't be able to use it yet because I'm going to have to wait the one more turn. But I think that's okay. It's when do I choose to use the Fatal Push? I'll take one here. I am quite a bit behind. I'm talking a little, or maybe thinking through what I'm doing a little too much. I can afford to play a little faster. Let's try that. I don't remember the card that's on top right now. Okay, so they did have days this whole time. They're gonna steal Flusterstorm off the top. Okay. So now I can play Monastery Mentor and have Monastery Mentor and have swords as removal. Depending on whether they still have the bolts, they likely still had the bolts. So they're going to snuff out here. But we also still have Unearth. I'm ready to block Ragavan as needed. Bolt. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, so if I Teferi Plus, I think it's a long-term play. Let's do this first. I wish there was a Flusterstorm in that graveyard, however, but there's not. Can I get 2 spells out of this? I could get to a brainstorm, which might be worth it. Pyroblast. Oh, and they had another land for the Dash Ragavan. Little brutal. Little brutal. Let's see if they can steal more of my removal spells. Tundra. Okay. Tundra's fine. We have not done it yet. She said she is interested in doing it, however. Does Ragavan have to hit me? You know, I'm honestly not sure. I don't necessarily want to cash it in immediately. I'm going to hope for the best here. Oh! That's brutal. That is brutal. Okay. Let's see if we can make this one-sided. Post-combat Baleful Strix. I'll allow it. I mean, I really don't want to do that, but I feel like I have to. What? Am I here to not cast a Mentor? You kidding me? Haha! Guess what? I don't have any more of those. Or I should say, that's not what I meant. Van Wedge makes a good point. Instead of letting him get the card again to bounce bounce on nothing, you're allowed to do that. Uh-oh, we got something happening here. You're going to Pyroblast my Teferi. I would draw 3 cards, put 2 back. So I'd only have 1 card in my hand. That does not seem worthwhile here. And I'm going to settle for making some monks, hopefully. Try to build something up with maybe find a fetch land. Here comes a Murktide Regent. Based on how it said they were paying costs. Okay. Prismatic Ending. So Prismatic Ending is not going to deal with the Murktide. I think other things I can worry about with the Murktide. So how many swords have we used? We have used 3 swords. We need to find Snapcaster Mage, honestly. Or we need to find a flyer. So let's focus on that. So this should get Black Source so that we can get to... I think we only have 2 Teferis, and they are now both gone. Okay, so as for black sources, if we were to get Scrubland here, and then tap Ponder, there we have black out of 2, we have blue and black, yeah, that works. Alright, show me. Baleful Strix into a Mentor. Baleful Strix just has to stay alive. I mean, they could have Bolt or whatever for this. Or just counter it. Because Snuff Out only works on black creatures. Okay. We draw the Mentor. We're not going to attack. They draw and kill us. Blazing Volley. Bravo. You got me. Yikes. Yeah. I do think the bounce target nothing would have been a better plan. I effectively, having it be a value creature that I bounced, all it ended up doing is hurting me in the long term. Yeah, Blazing Volley is a common card because it is an anti-elves measure, or in, like, you can do it early against the Delver. You know, if they don't set up, if they haven't activated all their stuff, Blazing Volley could clear an opposing Ragavan, Dragon's Rage Channeler, etc. So Blazing Volley is an absolutely real card. It's just was a little too perfect against me there, so it hurt. It hurt that much more. You know, not just regular pain. It was like bonus pain. But yeah, for the most part, it feels like the deck performed, right? We didn't really get any of the cantrips in that first game to the point where how much we flooded. So it was like bonus pain. Yes, thank you. And then once their Ragavan hit to take the cards we needed to get back in was just brutal. Hey, Reboot. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Trying to play some games tonight. Hopefully more wins than losses, but starting off with a loss. But here's an opportunity to change things. Lost the die roll. We're back to that. Cool. Okay. They're on the play. So if this gets basic, say this gets underground, for example, and they wasteland it, we're in trouble. This is a steady stream of value. It just has to work. Just has to work. 60% of the time, it works every time. Verdant Cat. Nobody plays fair and starts with a Verdant Catacomb. It's like, oh. I kind of stand by what I said. That changes things. So now I kind of want to start on Inquisition. Snow-covered forest, bird of paradise. I feel like this is Aluren. Aluren or food chain or something to that effect. So I am going to go get Underground Sea. And I'm going to start with an Inquisition. Just to see what's going on. And I see Abrupt Decay, Ponder, Uro. Yeah, I'm willing to say that sounds like Aluren. So they got Island. They could Uro into Ponder next turn. Birds of Paradise lets them have it. So I feel like the biggest problem for me longer term here is Ponders. I'm going to take Ponder. Or I should say the biggest value I saw coming from that would have been Ponder, if that makes sense. So they have Abrupt Decay and 2 new cards. And I'm going to stack, because I'll draw the first one of these. Yeah, Island, Ponder, Island. No. Play Island, pass. Then I can start a stream of Strix. Strix stream. Now, the only thing that hurts is if it is Aluren, Inquisition is a whiff. Well, that's not necessarily true. Did not shuffle that Ponder. They have a Strix. This bird is doing some heavy lifting. Okay. Start with a Strix. New Ponder. Prismatic Ending, Prismatic Vista. I mean, we can take them off black if we take out that Bird of Paradise. So we've already played a land this turn. Let's stack Swamp Vista, draw the end. And then Vista gets us white, clears that bird, and then we can continue to fire up the Strix chain. And then as we build lands, we can look at snapcasting back, Ponder, etc. as we need to. Force of Will is like our emergency anti-Aluren, I would say. But they are likely to have their other stuff, so I don't know. Hold. Would that give them a 5th card? I'll take one. I'll take one. I'm clever. Now, exiling this gives them one less. Well, they would have to go for green. They'd be like Bayou. Combat. Brainstorm. They could have Snake. I have all the owls. Ooh, I like that. Snapcaster. Okay, so now, no, they need one more. They're going to use the Abrupt Decay because they need one more card to get Uro back. I can appreciate that. So they're going to cash in the graveyard for Uro. This also could be Aluren. Be mindful of that, Jeremy. You got it. No land drop, somewhat surprising, but it means the hand's all good. Two, they don't have that. So I'm going to spend 3 of it, which would leave me 1 left. I'm not necessarily... I can't cast Unearth as well. So Unearth can be a card I put down. I can put it under Strix. Black. I would like to Esper Charm. Force Pitching Force. I think that's fine. The fact that Snapcaster back still exists, we can block with a Baleful Strix, we can draw into another. I would rather not burn my Force of Will if they just drop Aluren here, right? Because that would make me feel bad. Okay. They're going to clear the blocker. Another Abrupt Decay. Okay. Take 7. My current plan is we're going to snap back a Prismatic Ending, and I believe that works. Living Wish. I would rather counter the thing you get, but Living Wish makes me believe this is Aluren Caracas. That's pretty good. That would have been a reason to counter. The last card on top is Unearth. All right, so right now we could snap Brainstorm. We could snap Brainstorm, or we could snap Ponder. I'm actually going to go Ponder. The fact that I'm not currently able to clear it off, I think I want Ponder because I don't need Unearth that badly. I like that. That is a way to fight Caracas. Grist the Hunger Tide. So they could sack Baleful Strix to blow up my Baleful Strix. Okay, I'll allow it. If I take this, go to 3. Then I can start making Monastery Mentor blockers. I want to attack and get Grist off the table here. Is this the little stupid 1/1? I wasn't even thinking. Well, that's not what I expected. Endurance. So you have 1 card left. If we let that come in, all right, let's go to town. Go, Mentor, go. I don't know that I've played a land. Potentially did. All right. Let's try to turn these things around. Yep. We have Inquisition, we have Prismatic Ensing, we have Swords. They could still activate a Caracas in response to a Teferi, but do I have any ways to gain life in my deck? I could Swords my own stuff. That's pretty cool. Fetch land cracked, picking up Uro. Replaying Uro. Okay. So the question is, Teferi's on top. Plus, we have not yet played a land. That will change. Okay. So we'll go down to one. I'll allow it. So theoretically, I could snap this out of their hand. I'll target you. This might be being too cute. They're holding a Brainstorm and a Force of Will that they are not allowed to use. Well, I mean, okay. Allowed to use, but hopefully not problematic for me. Ice Lane Coatl. Flying is problematic. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might have been. The fact that they could see more cards was probably better there. Let's let them go for their thing here. If they can do the sorcery speed, then it looks like, yeah, by not taking the brainstorm, that was the access to more cards from the brainstorm. Now, it could very well have been the top card, which is all they needed. Well, they don't draw their entire deck. They can draw 20. Oh, that's true. I was going to say, they can only draw 25 cards. But the extra, the fact that they have 25 life to go with their 25 cards. Yeah, I tried to break it up with Inquisition, but maybe I needed to try to break it up somewhere else. Why would you brainstorm? Why wouldn't you just go get it? Does Azarak have a do damage to you version? I think it does, right? Let's see if we can catch up on some clock here. But it does turn out that they were Wish. Or I should say, they were Aluren, which we would have known with the Living Wish. I'm curious if they use Parasitic Strix, or do they use the Dungeons and Dragons Azarak. I'm curious which one it will be. Manamorpho. If they Manamorphose into Grape Shot, color me surprised. Like, I'm kind of wondering if they don't, just based on how. Why would they not just draw to the kill? There we go. There's the kill. So it is Azarak. We're going to die in the tomb. Yep. Well, okay. Let's see if they go to each opponent loses. Do they make it to the dark pool? Can they go to the dark pool? Oh, they're in the dark pool. We're dead. They got us. All right. So, against a combo deck, but a creature-focused combo deck. Fracture destroys a artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. So I think Fracture is in. I'm kind of wondering about Meddling Mage. So Cavern Harpy is a beast that if we were to set up, say, Plague Engineer, we could turn off their birds, literally, Bird of Paradise, along with their Baleful Strix. We could turn off the snakes, depending on what we need to. Hull Breacher. Is this a May? Well, Hull Breacher. I like the idea there. I think these Inquisitions are just not good enough. Flusterstorm. Hold on. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, I think Aluren specifically says cast as an instant, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I guess I'm just wondering, is Plague Engineer worthwhile? I mean, Meddling Mage could technically name Aluren. Could name Abrupt Decay for that matter. Alright, so Prismatic Ending can deal with multiple things. Unearth might be a little cute. The of one mines we haven't managed to pull off yet, which is sad. Would I rather have a sword or would I rather have a prismatic? I think I would rather have a sword in most cases. So I'm going to go like that. Try it like that. Yikes. Mulligan. Okay. This looks dire. So let's put that back. Prismatic Vista, go. Now the question is, should I end of turn fetch? Let's see what they do. Because that's one less land to draw. But it also puts basic planes back in, which I don't want to necessarily draw here. Their ponder was a shuffle. Okay, that's interesting. Is it only me or spells with the chosen name? Okay. Pass turn. See, Meddling Mage is one of the old style that actually hurts both of us. I can't cast Brainstorm, you can't cast Brainstorm. What's interesting, I was going to say, is they don't currently have Abrupt Decay mana, so I'm kind of leading towards playing Monastery Mentor next, because otherwise, depending on what we draw. Okay. So that swamp only lets me cast force them to jam. Okay. Now a draw like Unearth or something just brings Mentor right back. I would. Oh, did we just take him out? We took him out, didn't we? Oh, we have one. We have one for value. Yep, just like we drew it up. See, this could be. I was like, oh no, what if they play Grist? Well, Grist needs a creature to fuel. So like I'm saying, Grist could come out here. Okay, it's a Strix. Give it a shot. I'd like to name Aluren here. Okay, pass turn. They don't currently have enough snow. I was worried about the snow ambush on Meddling Mage. They could just get 2 blockers. I'll see if they're willing to go deep enough to get a second blocker. Yeah, I didn't even though we saw it, I did not consider endurance. I'm not gonna lie. Totally forgot about that one. Well, that serves me, right? Block and kill your Jace. That's a pretty good turn. Like what? See, that's just back to old Jeremy being greedy. Because if I play this Jace now, they'll just attack and kill me. I need to make sure I crack the Delta, though. Yep. Glad to hear it's short on damage. Blue, blue, white. I don't have double white, but I don't need double white. That's not bad. What do we got in there? We got a brainstorm. Wow, we really don't have much in there, do we? I should have kept Snapcaster if nothing else, but as a ambush viper if needed. Plus, I was not 100% mindful how I put them back. So that's another strike against. Block. So they found Aluren, huh? They have 1 card left. All right, so we found Snapcaster Mage. What we need is some of these aren't bad. These are free now, so... So then what we know is on top is another brainstorm. Yikes. Draw those. Put back that. And... I guess the Ponder. The Ponder is the weakest one here. Let's get another white source. Okay. So we can put this on top with this on it. And pass. You can have that one on top, and we'll move these over. Pass turn. That makes sense. They'll shuffle the top card. We still have Snapcaster as needed. Okay, play this. Pass turn. I'm currently on defense, I think. Tick up, kill him with Jace. Seems pretty cool. Double sword protection. Paying more costs. Abrupt decay. Is this Uro coming? Let's save ourselves from getting hit by Caracas again. Hey, they knew they needed the time. I can appreciate that. Okay. So, from what we saw, do we change anything? Force of Negations to try to fight Alurens? I feel like for the most part, that isn't the way I need to. Maybe Plague Engineer and stuff against their Strixes and stuff makes more sense. Or Meddling Mage on Abrupt Decay. Fatal Push in, and maybe don't be so stupid and attack in when you don't need to. That's not a bad choice of not being a moron. Turn 2 Meddling Mage with no backup and no cantrips. I guess here's cantrips. Put that one down. See how they start. Theoretically, we go Tundra, or we just ponder. We can just ponder, not shuffling on that ponder. Mentor. That gives us something to do. Okay. Quaddle is in. Quaddle does not yet have Death Touch, but could have Death Touch. It could have Death Touch at any time. Okay. They're already down to a few. They've hit their 3 snowlands. Do I want to do this? No, because it's your only blue card in hand. All right, well, pass after doing that, because didn't really realize the impact. Got to be mindful, Jeremy. Got to be mindful. You only have so many blue cards. If we draw a blue card, that'll be nice, because then we could have Mentor backed up. Is this Aluren or is this Uro? I hope it's only Uro. You may have an Uro. No land drop, which usually means bad things. Ponder. Let's see what they choose to do with it. No shuffle on Ponder. Bad news, bad news. Ooh. Blue, blue, get another white. Okay. Can we stay alive is the bigger question here. I have an answer for Uro, and I can potentially swarm over most of what they can do. It's just how well can they set up Carpet of Flowers. I can let one carpet happen and then I ending it away. Yikes. I guess if it comes down to it, can I have to. Okay. Um I'm gonna name Aluren with this. I don't know if I can Snapcaster back Aluren, or I'm sorry, Snapcaster back of one mine and get a discount, but I'm willing to try it. Pay costs. Cavern Harpy, full price. Maybe that's the right call. Tough but fair. We'll sit back on Fracture not to lose. Is this artifact enchantment? I thought that could destroy a creature. That's bad. That is bad. 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought that could destroy a creature. Well, that kind of punishes me. I thought Fracture could destroy a creature. Bum, bum, bum. I think we are going to... I think playing Snapcaster as a sorcery did not help my cause either. No, I guess I thought Fracture was better than it was. Spoiler, it's not. That would have been so much better to play on my turn to pump the prowess creature. I think this is just sloppy. This is just terribly sloppy. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 attacks out of them. I would have to draw like a maniac. But let's give ourselves a chance to draw like a maniac. Not sure what this might be. That's a good one. Yep, you got me. Ugh. So, part of a recurring issue, I should say, that I have is while talking through plays, the timeliness of the match. And being rushed, feeling rushed, trying to... What do I want to say? Like, the attack with the meddling mage in the second game, or was it the first game? Literally, no, it had to have been in the second game, because meddling mage would not have been in our deck in the opening game. So, despite winning that game, it was just wrong. The fact that meddling mage can lock out a key portion of their deck and me not doing it is just wrong. Needing to understand my role in the particular matchup, or I don't know, knowing what my cards do in the case of Fracture, where it's not actually a removal spell as much as I thought it might be. I mean, technically, it could destroy a Baleful Strix, but that's gravy more than anything else. That is not its intended use. If Fracture's intended use is destroy Baleful Strix, color me surprised. Hey, we won the die roll. Yes, I'd like to play first. Not with this hand. This hand's better. Keep. My first thought was to deploy Scrubland, but if I deploy Scrubland and they have Wasteland for me, now I don't even get to hit Baleful Strix. Doesn't seem great. Double Swamp over there, huh? Resolves. Well, it took basically what I was going to play anyway. I've got so many Strix, you don't even know. See? There goes the scrubland. I assume there goes the scrubland. Yeah. Smallpox. Goodbye, Inquisition. Well, Swords of Plowshares. Because currently we're going to be on no mana, and I'm not necessarily scared of the threats they deploy. They throw away an Innocent Blood. I'm going to go Underground. Scrubland's gone, just for purposes of remembering that. Okay, what are our choices? Our choices are Liliana or Sudden Edict. Sorry, Liliana. I mean, we're totally going to die to that Urza Saga, but... Kind of? Well, maybe not. That makes... Sacrifice this one. So... If we get... Have we lost anything? We've lost Island. So there's a single swamp in there. Okay, swamp in their hand. Go Island. I had to go basic, so between the two... Now, this didn't have to go basic. It was Pluto Delta. Had that been Tundra and then Swamp, right? What are they going to search? What are they going to search out here? Pithy Needle? Retrofitter Foundry? New Urza Saga? Okay. These are all legit. If we can draw a blue, I've got plans. Correction. If we could draw white. Pass turn. No attacks. I have Strix on defense duty. That's bad. I mean, why wouldn't I do this? I would like to exile that, please. Okay. They'll get a guy. Karnstruct coming in. Likely make another one here. Go get another retrofitter. I mean, Retrofitter is a solid card. They likely have multiple. Could be a Pithing Needle. Could be Torment Script. Could be Cursed Scroll. Okay. You got me. We're drawing some hot ones here. If they wake up Mistress Factory, that makes that an artifact 4, 8, 10. That's cute. Why would you not? Mistress Factory activated is 2, 3, 4 damage versus using the Curse Scroll. I mean, it's actively wrong, but none of that matters. I remove a token, it's down to 3. Yeah, none of that matters. Okay. Well, being on the draw, or I should say, the main things they're going to play, I would say the swords can come out. Prismatic Ending is still going to have a home because it can deal with some of the permanents they find. So how about Force Negation in? Destroy Artifact, Enchantment, or Planeswalker? Hello, hello. They don't really draw cards. Now, Flusterstorm, what do we see? The sorcery, Smallpox, Hymn to Turok, those are things Flusterstorm would do better. But Liliana, etc., no. But maybe that is a trade-off to a degree. I think I don't need Inquisitions for them. They're going to do... I mean, we did pinch a Liliana. That was nice, but... Containment Priest, no. Hull Breacher, no. Is Meddling Mage the type of effect I want there? Not particularly. I mean, there are certain... Nothing else can really answer like a Swords can. But... I don't know. So we're going to be on Maxim. We're going to have Negation, Flusterstorms, and Force of Will. We could put a Meddling Mage in for the time that it's relevant. And we can name something we need to name. So what do I got here? I got... Keep. This hurts for the purposes of playing Fracture, but I think I will live with that. See, maybe that would have made more... that would have been better had I thought about it a second more. If this resolves, they plus to make us discard a card. This gets me white or black. I just untap and Fracture. Well, that is what I needed to do. Now I'm willing to send that away. Put that down, this on top. I'll force over the Baleful Strix. Had I thought about that for just another second more, it would have effectively taken a card out of their hand. and that hurts. All right, we're going to go to the ever-popular Scrubland, which might be the unofficial name of my stream. Hey, we get a land. Smallpox. Resolves. Resolves. Three. So the real question is, do I care? The question is, do I care? Because if they go for something I can brainstorm to try to protect, most of the stuff seems like it's going to happen on their turn. Now the real question is, do I care? Sure. That's fine. Am I going to fall prey to Wasteland here is what I'm somewhat worried about. Silent Clearing's fine. Yes. Plague Engineer. Resolves. Why did you need to ritual that? Okay. They'll likely attack Teferi here. Okay. Yep. I'll take damage from the rack. Okay. So now the question is, can I... Interesting. Let's put back... this, then this. Make them have it. Make them have it. I mean, they probably do. And then that's just on me for once again playing poorly. Rack. I allow it. Alright, so we know what is coming. I keep doing it to myself, which is one of the most frustrating things. Like, hear me out. What if you weren't bad? I'm now trying to remember what was the other card, because we know we put 2 back. Is it Ponder? Or I used the Ponder. Attacking me. Prismatic Vista, thank you. So that's somehow worse. So we're going to draw Prismatic Vista. Hear me out. What if you would have just not jammed your card, you frickin' dungus? Oh, I'm very annoyed. I'm very annoyed with myself. Because Monastery Mentor would run away with this. I just, for whatever reason, elected not to do that. You gotta attack me, right? Correct. Go to 1. Go out on my own terms. Well, I'll admit, I did not expect this result thus far. It's not even that. I can't blame that when I know I made bad decisions that, oh man, I had everything that I needed, but it sure is terrible that I drew 4 lands after I threw the game away. No, the key there is I threw the game away. And it's just frustrating not being able to see, quote, optimal or better play the split second after doing it or while you're doing it is somewhat of a learning experience, but at the same time, it's, had I thought about it longer, would I really have found the right play, or would I have done the same wrong play, and in making that same wrong play, immediately seen what to do? Because I know from my experience watching other streamers, you see the lines that they are taking, and you have your own ideas of, well, this is what I would do, this is what I would do. But you have something of a luxury of not doing it, if that makes sense. By not being the person in the chair, it's easier to... Uh-oh. it says they chose to not play first. So that's kind of scary, and I think I would rather have Force of Wills against like Manaless Dredge. But this hand doesn't do anything. Or are they 8 rack again? They have somebody must have posted like an 8 rack video. My opponent chose to not play first. That is the most dubious. Chancellor of the Annex has entered the revealed card zone. All right, they're Reanimator, and they want to discard. I will play an island, and I will pass to you. Oh, are we going to your end step? They have discarded Stinkweed Imp. This is the first spell I play. First spell of the game. Alright, so let's not do something stupid and run Teferi into... Okay, they are Manaless Dredge. Okay, so... Cast Ponder. Pay. I like mentors with backup. I should have put one of the mentors in my hand. I guess this gives me triple. Okay, so we'll draw the card. We will play Monastery Mentor and then try to go to town. Okay, Tundra. And Mentor. Pass turn. Is there anything I need to worry about over there? Right now, I would say no. Thassa's Oracle. I'm looking ahead to what would I sideboard here. We had the Containment Priest. That's true. We had Flashing Back Cabal Therapy. Do they have another one? No. I will yield to that. I will yield to that. Can all their guys block? I think all their guys can block. Pre-combat might have been a little... May I yield to this? Discard for them. A new Dread return. Okay. So then the question is, am I going to be able... Okay, yes. Am I going to be able to support having enough blue cards was the question. So I would say yes. We go land, Snapcaster, or... Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can make it 8, 9, 10. But I don't think I need to. So let's just go... Put back that and that. Black, blue. Okay. They are at 11. Can they dredge into everything they need? And I would have been better off. Yeah, now that they have these. Because they have the therapy and the dread return now. Yeah, I would have been better off holding... Like, what do I get out of Baleful Strix here? Right? They have everybody in there they need. Yeah, that's just... Shockingly, once again, why do I need Baleful Strix in play when I could potentially get more mileage out of Brainstorm? Or have a way to kill my creatures? Because imagine right here I had Brainstorm to hide, and then something to draw it back. Yeah. It's just frustrating how... Even... Well, that's true, because we would have had, what, swords? Swords would not kill our stuff. We would have had to rely on... They're going to flip their library here. So they're going to show us everything. We're going to look at the cards. And then they should have enough to trigger another flashback to bring back the final Thassa's Oracle. Which normally would be, I would think, what you kill with. I think they play like 7 Dread Returns, yeah. Because we've already stopped one. Yeah, there's just more Dread Returns coming here. Or are they going to get Flayer of the Hatebound? What are they targeting? Yeah, you get Thassa's Oracle here, and then we're dead. So well, knowing that, things that I think would stop them are Meddling Mage, Containment Priest, and Surgical Extraction, and let's say another Force Negation. Because what they're going to go for is trying to discard, setting up the Dredge back of their guys. Things I don't think, well, funny enough, Inquisition could take most of their game plan away. So I want counterspell effects. For the most part, swords is not what we're looking for. Even prismatic ending isn't truly. Like the nether shadows and stuff that hop in are just there to get sacrificed and hop back out. Yeah, like having a removal effect for my own creature, that's what Fatal Push would be. So Fatal Push came in place of prismatic ending. Maybe the Inquisitions actually have a chance to do more than the prismatic endings, depending on, say it's what things they're going to side in against me. Now, what's funny is, I think we choose to draw because they're going to lose an entire turn. They'll just have 7 cards. I could be wrong. But if they want to purposely draw so that they can discard on the first turn. Yeah, I'll try this. I don't feel like they're not. Flusterstorm could mess with some stuff. Is Flusterstorm better than? Flusterstorm's probably better than Unearth. Okay. I am not going to play first. First time I think I've ever clicked that. Okay. I think this is decent, so we'll keep it. Let's see if they have any. Okay, they did not reveal anything. So, I'm going to ponder. I want all of those very, very badly. Okay. They're going to spend their first turn discarding. Okay. So now this says this will let them feed their graveyard by discarding all of their cards, which I think I'm fine with. And I'm going to pass. And before they... Okay. Let's see what they try to do here. Okay, so they're going to discard Icarid, Nether Shadow, and another Phantasmagorian and respond to that with a Hogak, a Golgari Grave Troll. Okay. Alright, so they have Sickening Shoal in hand. That's how you would deal with a Meddling Mage. And then, what else they got in here? Flayer of the Hatebound and Thassa's Oracle are their main kills. You could also take out Icarid here. Okay. Let's brainstorm. Try to... What was in their hands? Sickening Shoal. You don't necessarily care about that. So let's put back this. This. Draw for the turn. Get something started. That would have been better as a brainstorm turn. I mean, it's killing me, Smalls. Containment Priest would be nice, but we don't have a way to follow up with it. Alright. So they still have multiple draw steps before something's going to be able to get going. They've got... If I take that, there'll be 1, 2... The Nether Shadow will get to come out. I don't remember if I saw the Shambling Shells there. I'll take the Dredge card, though. Okay. One, two, three. So there's my white source. Okay, so now I can go... Fatal Push is not really what we're looking for, but I think I want at least one of these lands. Teferi is also not really needed. I can't play Meddling Mage with blue up. That is true. I can wait a turn. I'll get in with that. I don't know. I feel like this is going really poorly. Okay, so they've lost the Sickening Shoal from their hand at least. Go for white here. Does it make more sense to deploy Mentor for faster or Meddling Mage to be sure? What is the card called with flashback? Dread Return. Because potentially here we now follow, and if we can lay Mentor down, Mentor, once Meddling Mage is somewhat protecting us, I like Mentor with the other things, and I feel much, much, much safer. Okay. Cycle Street Wraith over there. This should get one of the Nether Shadows back. At least. Theoretically both. Okay. Multiple therapies, but no... What do you call it yet? Bringing a Hogak. Okay. Let's brainstorm. Yield. Yield. Find nothing truly fantastic, but should be enough to pull this off. Let's get white here. Another one. Just maximizing our triggers. Okay. This here. Draw that. Play this. Yeah. Then have counter spells available. White. Pump the team, bounce your guy. All right. So, remembering, we lost the first one, won the second one, on to game 3. What would change? They're going to set us up going, keeping Meddling Mage alive. These Baleful Strixes are discard fodder, honestly. Once something's in play, maybe I do want swords to deal with it if they go for something. I think surgical extractions, being able to snap the surgical extractions. I think the Inquisitions are just weak. I think the Inquisitions could be, let's say, swords, because it's permanent removal. What creature type is Icarid? What creature type is the Shade? And Narcomoeba. They would have enough variety of things that they should be able to keep everything in play. Alright, let's just blue, white. Okay, they didn't lead with anything, so this can be blue for a ponder. So we found our white source. Found Jace. Okay. Pass turn. Dread, return. Pass turn. They could just have Sickening Shoal for me. Narcomoebas, Cabal Therapies. Maybe this hand isn't good enough. I mean, it's entirely possible this hand is just not good enough. Okay. So now, on my turn, are they going to try to? If I pitch, play that, sack. For underground. 1, 2, 3. That triggers another shadow as well. Do I need to sit back on Brainstorm? I think I do. Depending on how deep they can go here. I mean, one draw. It might not be enough. Try that. Shadow is back. Icarid is triggering, but there's nobody to eat with Icarid. Therapy. Okay, so there's a new Narcomoeba. Is Hogak castable here? It looks castable. 1, 2, eat the graveyard to do it, and then just counter that. I haven't seen... what is it, the Phantasmagorian yet. They could, mill there. So now they've hit bridge. They've hit the Phantasmagorian. They're going to fill the graveyard with the cards they need. I think I needed to go for more hate. Or not deploying the Baleful Strix. This Brainstorm could have drawn 2 cards past Meddling Mage. It's worth looking to see what they might have been. Because Flusterstorm could have made it worthwhile. Yeah, and there's multiple therapies here if they go for that, and I don't see why they wouldn't. Now they have multiple bridge from blows. Like, this feels like what they're supposed to do. And I could be wrong, but yeah. And then from here, I mean, we're not 100% dead. I mean, they're going to make an army. They're going to make an army bigger than anything I could do. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is check these top 2 cards. If one of them was Flusterstorm, it would have been better to hold Brainstorm to try to find not even Flusterstorm. Why not have a better chance to find Surgical Extraction, right? Yeah, I think I'm done here, and I just want to see what these next 2 cards would have been. Apparently, I don't get to find out, which is frustrating, because I would have liked to see at least what the next 2 cards were. Yeah, that's annoying. Speaking of annoying, how about an 0-4? Yeah, that ain't the greatest. I would say, hey, let's play one more, but there's nothing that you can salvage from a 1-4 other than messing up somebody else's day. Or I should say, turning an 0-4 to a 1-4, you could ruin somebody else's league, and I would rather not do that. I really expected more out of this league, strangely, and kind of surprised. Now, having said that, a lot of the, quote, underperformance were my mistakes. I think playing a lot of the same games again, hopefully sequencing would be better and things like that. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. So, well, the wheel wanted this, but I don't know if the wheel wanted it, if you know what I mean. But as of right now, my goal for Thursday is to find something competitive to play in the prelim on Thursday. So drop by the Discord. Let me know what decks that you think are good. You can hit !Discord in the chat, and it will let you know. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter. Let me know what you're playing in Legacy. Let me know what you like to see in Legacy. And we'll see you next time. But thanks for watching me. As always, if you're new to the stream or if you've been watching for a while, it's free to hit follow. It helps support the stream in general. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. You don't have to. You probably shouldn't. But you do. And I thank you for that. All right. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.